Judy Cory spent more than 40 years working in the film industry as a hairstylist for studios like Universal and for a wealth of independent actors, including Angie Dickinson and Dustin Hoffman. Her career stories are peppered with Hollywood legends so famous they are recognizable by only one name. And while her memories are personal and entertaining, they are also so vast that they can often blur together in a singular memory that Judy simply files under career. Tell me, in those 5 years, can you give us a thumbnail of projects you worked on? And was this television or was it movies?
It was both. I started out on a TV show called Tammy. And I had 7 people to do, which today is unheard of.
What was your position exactly?
I was like the head hairdresser on that show, but I did not get screen credit because in those days, the head of the department got screen credit. Okay. I worked with Ann Sheridan on a show called Pistols and Petticoats. She was such a wonderful lady. But at the time, we found out as the show got going that Ann had cancer. And she kept working until 2 weeks before she passed away.
Wow.
And she was in such pain, and she would say, Judy, I have to do it. This whole crew needs a job. I will be there, and she was there every day until she couldn't be there anymore. So that was a great experience.
I bet.
I also worked on films at the same time. One of the first films that they put me on that I actually did get credit was an Elvis Presley movie.
Did you do Elvis?
No, actually not. I did Shelley for Bride and other people that were on the show. Elvis had a group of about 12 guys. Some of them were his cousins, some of them were his friends, and they were always with him. Mm-hmm. And his hairdresser was named Charlie. Charlie was with him till the end. But what a wonderful man.
Did you get close to him?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's close on a movie set, but these guys were so crazy that you were constantly looking behind you because they were always doing practical jokes. And they would do all these practical jokes, and if they did any practical joke that, say, ruined a suit that someone was wearing or something, the next day that person would have 2 new suits. Or, they never did a practical joke that they hurt anybody or hurt anything. But gosh, it was fun.
Were you attracted to him?
As a boyfriend or something?
Well, yes. Everyone swooned over Elvis.
No. By then, I wasn't really swooning over my actors. There were a couple that were pretty sexy.
Like who?
Robert Redford.
What was the name of that movie?
Clam Bake. It was called Clam Bake.
And you got screen credit, you said, yes?
I got screen credit. My first movie to get screen credit on.
And did you go see it like 53 times?
No.
Okay.
Once was enough.
Are you a movie person? Do you love to watch the movies as well?
I used to. It's interesting. I don't watch them so much anymore. I do belong to the Academy. So I do get screeners at the end of the year to vote. I do watch those. But it's not like I say, let's go down to the movies this weekend. Phil, my husband.
Why?
Because I know. It's just like when you watch TV, like reality TV, the background, what's going on. I do love it, but I'm critical. Like if it's got my attention, I'm with it. I'm in it. But if it doesn't have my attention, I pick it all apart. Why did they do that? Or what's wrong with that? Or that lighting's really good, or that lighting's really bad. It's just, you're more critical, I think.
So it takes away the magic.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry for you, because movies are magical. Okay, so let's go back to the 5 years at Universal. If you could sum that up for us, what was that experience for you?
Well, it certainly was different than it is today. Mm-hmm. Because today most movies are independents. Well, They all are independents, basically. You can go work at the studio, but it's basically an independent film.
Right.
They don't have makeup departments. They don't have wardrobe departments so much as like they used to. You don't have a studio system.
It's all contract work now.
Pretty much. When I started working at Universal, women had to wear dresses and high heels.
Behind, on the backside of the camera?
The makeup men wore ties and shirts and, not so much the grips and electricians and all, but there was a definite dress code. Now you can wear shorts or anything you want to wear. The only time we could wear pants was if we were working on the back lot or a location.
Wow. So you finished your 5 years at Universal, and where do you go?
Angie Dickinson got me going out to Independence. My boss at Universal told me always, when you had 2 shows and you couldn't decide which one you wanted to do, to always take the one that started first.
Money in your pocket.
Money in your pocket. The second one could be canceled, and you're out of anything. So Angie Dickinson had asked me to go with her to do a film. And I went into my boss and I said, I have this problem, Larry. Because he's the one that put me on the Chrysler Theater with her and got me started working with her and different ones. I said, Angie wants me to go, and he said, well, we can use you on such and such, or you can do that. He said, which one starts first? And it was Angie's show. So I left Universal. That was why I left Universal.
That's still, even though you followed that good advice, it had to be a little tough walking away from the studio.
Oh, it was. And now I'm out in the independent world. I could have gone back.
Okay.
To Universal. I did a few times at different times. But mainly at that point is when I moved into independent work.
What about your work wanted a star of Angie Dickinson's magnitude at that time to want you to come with her? That's pretty big praise. Mm-hmm. What was it about you that she loved so much?
We got on great. And besides getting on great, she was just a great girl.
Does she have good hair? It always looked fabulous.
Sorry, Angie. Ask me those questions.
Okay, that's fine. I'll cut it out.
Use a lot of hair pieces.
And that's the thing, we try so hard to look like the stars with what we have, not knowing the behind. See the magic. I guess I'm not going to ask those questions. I don't want to know behind the magic.
No, it's fine. I'm sure she wouldn't mind at all. But she was wonderful. And then she had her baby. And when I had Reva, she gave me all kinds of clothes and stuff that people had given her that hadn't even been worn.
And Reva's one of your daughters. You now go into the independent film world with Angie Dickinson, and how long does that last? And what were you going to?
Actors don't, she would do something and then she might be off for 10 months. They don't work all the time. You have acquaintances at studios, production managers, producers, whatever. And those are the people that you basically relied on for your jobs unless you were connected to an actor or actress. I was more of a company person. In other words, I liked being brought in by the director or the production manager or the producer more than by the actors and actresses. I always preferred to be like a head of a department. But I did work, shows after shows with certain people.
Like?
Dustin Hoffman, I did several shows with. I worked for Spielberg on many of his projects. I worked with Jimmy Stewart way back when I was doing TV shows. That was something.
I bet. What was he like?
He was fabulous and so talented. I used to have a resume that was huge. And when people say to you, what did you do? And you go, I can't remember.